When I was state treasurer and focused on these issues, I did meet a number of people who absolutely got buried by some of the incredibly high interest loans, and it was just really, really difficult for them to dig themselves out from a really challenging situation.
When I found out that there was people that was making $40,000, $50,000, and $60,000 a year going to payday to get money, I asked a couple of them, I said, why are you doing that? They said, because once you get sucked in, you cannot get out.
And I think what is really important about my signing this bill after all the work by the legislators is that there is, in fact, thanks to folks like those represented here today, there are choices for many of the people who need the financing.
This does not overly regulate. This I think, is a really good piece of legislation in that it gives protections that I think all of us want, but at the same time, as you mentioned, Governor, that access to cash that people need, and when your car breaks, you got to get to work, is still there. And I'm just really feel very, very blessed to be part of it. And I really do think, I'm not a regulator, as you guys know. I'm about as pro-business as business gets, but I think this is a very responsible piece of legislation, and I think we're helping a lot of Delawareans today.
This was a vote your heart piece of legislation, not vote your party piece of legislation. And it's very, I cannot tell you the amount of work that the representative did on this. We get to share the glory with her here today, but let me tell you, she did the work of orchestrating this, the down and dirty work every day of carrying this load to make sure that this legislation got done, and she didn't stop when it crossed the aisle in the Senate.
That's the American dream, you know, to own a house maybe someday, but really to not have to wonder how they're going to pay their bills, and it all connects, you know, the difference between a need and a want. And for me, this bill was definitely a need and not a want. And I thank you so much today for signing this. I really, really appreciate it.
I really do believe that as a result of the legislation and as a result of the wonderful work going on in the community among so many of these organizations that have worked to create alternative loan products, that a lot of people in Delaware are going to be better off. And for that, I think this is going to be a bill that you'll look back on years from now. And more importantly, that many other people will look back on years from now and really be appreciative of the work that you've done.